Well, hey, Boker Tov, good morning. How are you? It's Torah Tuesday. Huh? It's Thursday, I know. But Tuesday, we were on adventures, and there was no Wi-Fi. It's a very sad story. So obviously, Torah Tuesday on Tuesday didn't happen. But it's now Thursday. So what the heck? If you want to, we'll do it on Torah Thursday. What the heck? Okay? Okay. This week is Vayechi. All right? It's time for Jacob to die. Time to end the book of Genesis and get ready for Exodus. Okay? So, Jacob's getting ready to die, and he wants to bring his kids so that he can do the blessings. But Jacob being Jacob, he still wants to bless Joseph. But Joseph's not the youngest. No, cancel that. Joseph's not the oldest. Well, the rules never stop Jacob, right? So he adopts Joseph's two boys and takes the rest of his boys, and then he blesses everybody. So Joseph ends up on top. Okay. But, that's Jacob, right? So, Benjamin was born after him, right? Because Benjamin's the youngest of Jacob's. So Jacob plays one last trick. Instead of blessing Joseph directly, just Jacob adopts Joseph's sons, right? Saying they are his as much as Reuben and Simon are. So Ephraim and Manasseh become his youngest sons. With Ephraim, the youngest, Jacob places his hands on the heads of the two boys, but the Torah states that Jacob blessed Joseph. Say hey to Joseph. It's Jacob all over again. Okay? Now, what is important by this, because of course they get all the stuff, they get all the tribal stuff, and they get all the rules and everything else. But for us, what is important for this is that Jacob, to the end, is Jacob. Okay, he's still bending the rules. Okay, he's still making his own rules. But the other thing that happens because of what's going on is Jacob is now the last patriarch. Have Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. No more. We got 4 matriarchs, but we've only got the 3 patriarchs. Okay? So, why is this important? I'm glad you asked that. Because when we meet Moses in the book of Exodus, Moses is not a patriarch. Okay? There's an argument, and we'll get into it later, about is he the prophet? Is he just a leader? What is he? Okay? And we'll get into that later. The Torah talks about it, okay? But just think because Moses actually walks and talks with God. Well, the patriarchs talk, but they didn't talk and walk, and they didn't have the same relationship. As Moses has got his own relationship. It's very special. And when we get there next week, you'll see in Shemot. Okay? So, where am I? I told you about the patriarchs and the matriarchs, right? And then Jacob gives his blessing, and then he dies. Okay, and everybody mourns him. Okay. Now, we also find out when Joseph dies, we get the details of how he's mourned and buried. And basically, he was embalmed and he was put in a coffin in Egypt. Well, that means he's adopted and become an Egyptian, because we don't do that. We don't embalm, and we don't build these big shrines like they do in Egypt. So Joseph died the way he lived. Okay? So, and not only that, what happens is we're taught that, I'm sorry, I lost my place. Oh, well. After, the mourning rituals, I'm sorry. Joseph has adopted his native Egypt as his home, and thus, to the death, he acts like an Egyptian. So they spend the rest of the book telling us about what happens. So now that Jacob is gone, and now that his Joseph is gone, no longer are they considered Jacob's children. They're now the children of Israel. Because remember, Jacob got his name changed when he wrestled with God at the brook. Okay? So now everybody's the children of Israel. So when we go into Shemot, it's the children of Israel. It's no longer Jacob's sons. It's no longer, the children of the patriarchs. That's where I was going with that. Okay? And since we're finishing Genesis, Bereshit in Hebrew, we say chazak, chazak, v'nichazak, be strong, be strong. Okay? And we'll do that every time we finish a book in the Torah. Okay? That's what we always do. The last thing we always say is chazak, chazak, right after we finish the book. And that tells us that we're going into a new book in Torah. Okay? So that is my story, and I'm sticking to it. All right? So, again, I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed yourself. And we're next Tuesday, we're going back to Torah Tuesdays on Tuesdays. We were out of pocket this time. Okay? Okay. So, have a good Shabbos. Have a happy New Year. Happy new secular New Year. And I'll see you back here Tuesday for Torah Tuesday. Hey, peace out.